My name is Admal Bukenya, together with as your MCs for today's event. We appreciate you indeed.
Well, let's call upon Petronilla to come to stage for her welcome remarks. Petronilla, your time starts counting now. Thank you, MC, for this opportunity. Our dear beloved parents and all guests, our trainers and fellow children, my name is Petronilla Asinde. I am 8 years old, a student of Public Speech at Speech Focus Africa. I am so glad that you have all come to watch our performance today. It has been a pleasure to be a part of public speech training course, and we have learned so much from our fellow classmates and instructors. I know that each and every one of us has worked hard to prepare for this moment, and I am confident that we will do our very best to demonstrate what we have learned. Whether you are here to watch a friend or loved one, or you are simply interested in seeing the fruits of our labor, we appreciate your support and encouragement. There isn't much I have to say, but to say thank you for supporting. And above all, it is our pleasure to see all of you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy whatever has been prepared for you. Thank you for being here with and for us today.
Alright, Jeremiah George, come and give an account of all that time we have been in training.
Thank you, MCs, for introducing me. My name is Jeremiah George Kaga, and I'm here to tell you what we have been learning. Some of you might be wondering what we have been learning all this time. Well, I'm here to give you a brief summary of what we have been learning. First, we have been learning about eye contact. Eye contact is looking at someone while talking to them. It's one of the ways to show that you're interested in what you're telling someone. Secondly, we learned about posture. While you're sitting, you need to sit in your seat comfortably and properly. You need to sit straight and make your back straight. Another thing we also learned is audibility. Audibility is talking and making sure that everyone whom you're talking to can hear you and get the message that you're trying to say. Another thing we learned is facial expression. Facial expression is using your face to match with what you're trying to say. If you're trying to pass on a sad message, you need to show that you're really sad. You cannot say a sad message while you're really happy. And another thing we learned is intonation. Intonation is ups and down in your voices. When you are trying to say something and make it interesting, you need to use your intonation to make you either go high or you either go low. Thank you for listening to me.
Invite our first discussant to tell us what child abuse is all about. Natavia, you are welcome to stage.
Good morning, our dear parents. My name is Natavia Grace, a student of Public Speech at Speech Focus Africa. Today I am here to talk about child abuse. Child abuse refers to any intentional or neglectful act that causes harm to a child. It is any act or failure to act on the part of a parent or caregiver that results in harm, potential for harm, or threat of harm to a child. This can include hitting, shaking, or any other type of physical harm. Physical abuse refers to any physical harm or injury inflicted on a child. This can include physical, sexual, emotional, or neglectful acts. Next is sexual abuse. Sexual abuse refers to any sexual activity involving a child. This can include sexual touching, rape, or any other type of sexual activity. Children are not only abused physically and sexually. There is also emotional abuse, which refers to any behavior that damages a child's self-esteem or emotional well-being.
If we have to fight for our rights as children, it's very important to have more knowledge about them.
My name is Nimare Emanuela. I am a student of Public Speech and Speech Focus Africa.
My name is Jesse Choiga Daniel. I am a student at Speech Focus Africa.
My name is Deborah Gloria, a student of Public Speech and Speech Focus Africa. Child abuse is silent pain, a heart that cuts like a sharp blade, leaves deep scars that never fade, a crime that must be addressed, but it's a cycle that can be broken if some action is taken.
No child deserves to live in fear, to be mistreated, to live in tears. We must stand up and lead a hand to create a safe and loving land.
Child abuse a scar on our society. It's us to make it history if together we stand and save every child in this land. Child abuse is a constant fight. We must stand up for what is right. It's time to break this cycle and end the pain, to give every child a life free of shame.
We all have a role to play to keep children safe every day. We must listen, we must act to prevent this crime and show children we have their back.
So let's join together and make a vow to protect children now and forevermore. We must speak out and let our voices ring and end child abuse for love and kindness to sing. Together we can end child abuse.
Wow! Let's give these little ones an applause. As we welcome Simran, Hanan and Chiravo for their presentation.
As they come, please be reminded that we are not here to show off, but to see how far we have gone in public speaking. Otherwise, I can't stop thanking you all for coming.
My name is Simran Magezi, a student of Public Speech at Speech Focus Africa. With me and my two friends, Chirabo and Hanan, ready to give their thoughts about child abuse. Just to remind us again, child abuse is when adults hurt children on purpose. It can be physical, like hitting or shaking, or it can be emotional, like saying mean things or not letting a child see their friends. It can also be sexual, like touching a child in a way that makes them feel uncomfortable. Child abuse is a big problem because it hurts children in many ways. It makes them feel scared, alone, and like no one cares about them. With that background, Chirabo, use your few minutes to tell our fellow children how they can get rid of child abuse.
Thank you, moderator. Like you said, child abuse can happen to anyone, no matter how old you are or where you come from. So, fellow children, these are the things you can do to prevent child abuse and resist it if it happens to you. First of all, you have to know that you have a right to be treated with respect and kindness. No one has a right to hurt you or make you feel scared or uncomfortable. If you feel like you're being abused or neglected, it is important to tell someone you trust, like a parent, a teacher, or a counselor. They can help you get the support and protection you need. You can also take steps to protect yourself from child abuse. It's okay to say no if someone touches you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. It's also okay to say no if someone asks you to do something you don't want to do. Remember, you have a right to make your own decisions and take care of yourself. Finally, it is important to know that you're not alone and that there are people who care about you and want to help. If you ever feel like you want to talk to someone, don't hesitate to reach out for help. Together we can all work to prevent and resist child abuse, to create a safer, healthier world for all children. Thank you.
Thank you, Chirabo. I hope children have had it themselves. No child should ever have to suffer from physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. It is our responsibility, but also a responsibility to parents, caregivers, to create a safe and loving environment for children to grow and thrive. Hanan, how can parents or caregivers guard us against child abuse?
Thank you, Simran. As a child, I am here today to talk about the importance of protecting children from abuse. Child abuse can have long-lasting and devastating effects on a child's development and well-being. It can cause physical injuries as well as emotional and psychological trauma. Know the signs of abuse and be aware of any change in your child's behavior, mood, or even school performance.
Thank you so much, Hanan. All has been well said. If you are a parent or caregiver, I ask that you do everything to keep your child safe from child abuse. If you see or suspect that your child is being abused, please speak up and get help. Remember, we all have a responsibility to protect children and give them the childhood they deserve. With those few, we have come to the end of this brief discussion as we talked about our role as children together with parents in ending child abuse. It has been a pleasure talking to you.
Good morning, parents. My name is Nala West Dakira. I am a student of Public Speech and Speech Focus Africa. Good morning, parents and guests. My name is Hessa Sarah, a student of Public Speech at Speech Focus Africa. Good morning, guests and parents. My name is Munirab Kenya, a student of Public Focus Africa. Every morning, we wake up mourning and crying as if we are orphans. Is it true you are born by humans, left and right, nothing upright? Where is our future? We need it bright. We cry and cry, our sockets dry. The reason this season we think it's treason. Our dear mother does not bother. Our dear father has gone further, looking for money all over the world. You have no time to cook but book an order for a soda on a border for my snack. We eat gorillas day in and out. Are we gorillas? Money is honey, yes, look for the money, but who has ever got it all? Do not throw your responsibility to anybody. Time will come for you to regret. Our dear mother does not bother. Our dear father has gone further, looking for money all over the world. Next on stage is Vivian and her friends with the talk show.
Child abuse is when anyone under the age of 18 years is either harmed or not properly looked after. Our dear guests and our beloved parents, instructors of public speech at Speech Focus Africa, and my fellow trainees. My name is Kaineragawa Vivian Shimuri. I am in primary 7 and I am a student of public speech at Speech Focus Africa. With me here today are other members of the same club with a talk show about child abuse. We are discussing a question that states, How do children contribute to their own abuse? I repeat, how do children contribute to their own abuse? Does it sound funny to you? Yes, I know most of you are wondering whether we children contribute to our own abuse. But today, this team is here to prove to you that to a big extent, we are to blame. As I take my seat, I'm going to give a chance to each of these panelists to say hi to you.
Hello everybody, my name is Jeremiah George and I'm here to talk to you about child abuse.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohsin Bukenya. I'm so glad to see you all.
Hello everyone, my name is Acheng Daniela Simon and I'm glad to be here.
Good morning, our beloved parents. My name is Matov Ayman. I'm so glad to be with you.
Good morning, our dear parents. My name is Gobe Mumin Muhammad. I'm so glad to see you all.
Well, George, what more do you know about child abuse?
Thank you, moderator. Child abuse is the mistreatment of children by an adult or children. In most cases, children are abused by so many people like parents, their biological parents, even step-parents, their fellow children, caregivers, and teachers. There are so many forms of child abuse like psychological abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and neglect. Child abuse can be any form of maltreatment to a child battering, child sacrifice, kidnapping, and so many others like denial of food. International studies show that about 80% of children die due to child abuse. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, George. Well said. That was a brief overview of what child abuse is. Ayman, how do we children contribute to child abuse?
Thank you, moderator. I'll begin with working at night. Children have the tendency of working at night without their parents' consent. This has resulted in too many causes of child abuse, whereby as they are working, they meet different people with different intentions. In such a situation, if a child is abused, he or she has greatly contributed on his or her rights. Moderator. And everyone here, where would the abuser find the child if he was at home in the house?
Well, I don't know. I think the abuser wouldn't really find the child because the child would have been at home.
Thank you, moderator, for that wonderful answer you have given to us. Secondly, accepting gifts from strangers. Children like gifts in form of sweets and candies, and strangers use drugs and chloroform to make the sweets and candies. In the end, it makes the children unconscious. So, if accepting strange gifts from strangers, you are actually increasing on the chances of being abused. Thank you, moderator.
Thank you, Ayman. I won't repeat anything from your presentation. You have been crystal clear. Daniela, what more do you have to add?
Thank you, moderator. In my opinion, it's true. We children contribute a good percentage to our abuse because we go to great limits just to get famous. And that's why I will start with peer group influence. Most children, especially the teenagers, are abused because of peer group influence, where they get different ideas about life and they need to practice and prove most of the things they see or hear. That's how children start smoking, taking alcohol, using drugs, just because they see their fellow children doing it. And in the process, the merciless people use that opportunity to use them to satisfy their needs. For example, if a bad group teaches you how to take alcohol and you become drunk, will you be able to refuse any form of abuse? And that's why I still stand to my point that children contribute a good percentage to their abuse. My next point is the internet. Most children own phones and other gadgets. While others use them for educative purposes, others use them to watch bad pictures and videos. And in the process of watching those bad pictures and videos, they get the need to try and practice most of the things they hear, which they may abuse a friend, a relative, or anyone else. And still on the internet, most children have an tendency of posting themselves on the internet. When he goes out, he posts. That means he's exposing himself to the outside world, which gives an abuser to get a chance to locate you. And can you imagine, moderator? They even go to an extent of exposing and showing and sharing their location with people they do not even know. In that case, who do you blame? The abuser or the victim?
Thank you, Daniela. I will straight away throw that question to the audience here. Daniela has asked me, if a child shares his or her location with an abuser, who is to blame? The abuser or the victim? Feel free to raise up your hand.
Moderator. Thank you, moderator. The victim is the one to blame. Thank you.
Thank you so much. But why do you think the victim is to blame?
It's like, catch me if you can, if we can use that phrase. Catch me if you can. If I say I am here, catch me. Why can't I be blamed if you catch me? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your opinion. Anyone else?
Victim is to be blamed because he or she is the one who posted themselves.
Thank you so much. For the interest of time, let us continue with the program. I hope that you are all now realizing that we children contribute a good percentage to child abuse. Let our next panelist proceed. Muhammad.
Thank you, moderator. I'll straight away begin with love for money. Children have a lot of greed for money. They are forced to look for it in all ways. Some of them will steal, and if caught, they will definitely be punished. Too much love for money forces a child to do anything possible, meaning that abusers will take that chance of calling you to come for money or giving you money to something you wouldn't have done. Most cases of early marriages and defilement are caused by too much love for money by these young girls. They forget that life is better than money. Secondly, love for free lifts and rides. Some children love lifts and rides. He is walking back to school. Yes, he is tired. Someone comes willingly to offer a lift. While you are walking, you need to mind most on how safe you reach, but not how fast. Accepting a free ride is a direct way of delivering yourself to child abusers. Some of these merciless men and women will take you to places you don't know and abuse you in any way. Moderator.
Yes, please.
Let me also ask you, if a child willingly accepts a free ride and finally he or she is kidnapped, won't you think he will have kidnapped himself?
And who takes the blame?
Thank you, Muhammad. I will not answer you directly, but let our last panelist give his opinion before his presentation.
Thank you, moderator. I also think once you give yourself directly to an abuser, you are the one to blame. A lot has been talked about, but I will talk about behavior. This is actually the commonest way how children contribute to child abuse. How you behave determines how your parent, caregiver, teacher, or even your siblings will treat you. Children with bad behavior are commonly beaten, denied some rights, and other forms of abuse. What do you expect from your own mother if she tells you to do something and you refuse or do it wrongly? In some families, when you refuse to work, you don't eat. Moderator. Even in schools, teachers are forced to react negatively because of how we children behave. Disobedience is a major cause of child abuse, even by our own parents, not because they hate us but we annoy them. If God punished Adam and Eve, his own creation, for disobedience, who are we to survive child abuse after disobedience? I submit.
Thank you so much, Musi. Let us give a deserving applause to these panelists for their presentation. So, from their presentations, they teach us that if we avoid what they have talked about, we shall reduce the rate of child abuse. I hope that you are now accepting the fact that we children contribute a big percentage to child abuse. Just to remind you, this is public speech at Speech Focus Africa. Feel free to join. I have been Kainerugaba Vivian Shimuri with these panelists, Daniela, Musin, Jeremiah, Ayman, and Muhammad, as they were educating you about child abuse. Thank you very much. We sign out and say bye.
Enroll your child today for training in public speech, music, dance, and drama. Speech Focus Africa. Be yourself.